Stevenson, resident of Laverne, mayor, council. I'm also speaking from the standpoint of a registered civil engineer, and also on behalf of my partner, Karen Richards, who's a 25-year resident of Upland on West 13th Street. Well, it's been, 2 years since the draft M&D came out for public review. And that document was inadequate, and there were inconsistencies, and I don't think it should have been approved on that basis. Specifically, among other things, the assumed traffic trip generation rates were based on a model from a warehouse of a different style and type than a last mile delivery facility. Second, the parking of the van drivers' personal cars was excluded, as well as the trips for those folks to get to the site to begin with. So there were some missing elements in that. A lot of weight was put on a 25 per day semi cap on trucks heading into the facility, bringing goods for future delivery. But there wasn't a cap on other trucks, like 2-axle, that are about half the size of a semi. And so therefore, in essence, there would be no cap on the amount of goods that could be delivered into the warehouse for distribution later. So it was a false cap, if you will. They estimated 372 vans would be each one would go in and out every day. But they provided 1,000 van parking spots. That seemed a little inconsistent and a little suspicious. Was that looking out for the near future and going ahead and expanding the operation with additional trucks bringing goods into the facility? And then finally, and I think this was pretty significant, there was 100,000 square feet of canopy, 50,000 on each side, north and south sides of the facility, that effectively added 50% to the size of that warehouse operation. Those canopies aren't for break time and enjoying your lunch. It would have been active working areas that in other parts of the country would have been within the walls of a warehouse because our weather is so nice out here. So with those inconsistencies and omissions that can allow for a much larger and more invasive facility and operation all over, I don't think the project is suited for the location, the proximity to the residential areas, and the entire city. You have discretion. Stop it now. Thank you.
After Lisa Nicely is Stephen Ondrich.
Hi, Mayor and City Council. My name's Lisa Nicely, and I'm a 23-year Upland resident, and I'm also a member of Upland Community First. Today, I'm here to speak on the Amazon Logistics Hub, and I use the term logistics hub because, in my opinion, a facility that needs 1,500 parking spaces is not a warehouse. It's a logistics hub. So I'm unlike Roger. I cannot speak to the technical aspects of this project, but Mayor Velto and Mayor Pro Tem Zuniga, you both voted yes on Amazon, and I don't believe you've changed your decisions. Councilmember Elliott, you heeded the advice of many of our resident experts and the huge public outcry, and you voted no on Amazon, and thank you for that. So I'm here today to address our council members who were not involved in the previous voting process. So that is Councilmember Moust and Councilmember Garcia. Even though you are both new to City Council, you both have a deep history of involvement in the community. And I think I recall seeing you both at some of the various Amazon meetings and workshops. So I just wanted to jog your memories that the gallery here was packed during those meetings. We also had a member of the community, Irma Linda, put together kind of an open forum workshop over at the Landesina building, and that had a great turnout as well. Oh, sorry, I lost my spot. So there were so many people in the gallery that the fire department actually had to ask some people to stand outside. There were also hundreds of emails sent at the time in opposition to this project. And at the end of the day, Judge Cohn agreed with our local resident, Dr. Brenda Sarathi, that the greenhouse gas calculation was wrong. I asked the both of you, like Janice, to please say no to Amazon and please say no to appealing Judge Cohn's decision. Thank you.
Does that complete? You're now connected to the meeting. Please state your name for the record. You may start your comments now.
Cindy Phillips, Upland residents. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I am speaking on agenda item 4A. I am urging you to please say no to the Amazon warehouse project. This is a bedroom community, and this will change Upland forever, and not in a good way. Since there is no sales tax benefit to our city, it seems ludicrous to have it here along with its pollution, big rigs, and vans running around tearing up our roads. There is a senior mobile home park on the east side of Benson, and this seems very dangerous to our seniors and also to the children of our many schools throughout our small city. Residents that I have talked to do not want this in our community and may have expressed this at a prior council meeting over a year ago. Actively, there are 3 lawsuits going on: Upland, Rancho, and now West Covina. This should tell you, the council, people are not happy having Amazon in these cities. Mayor Velto and council, please think this through as to the impact that it will have to our community and how it will change the dynamics of Upland and surrounding cities. There are so many other cities with more land and not close to homes to destroy the quality of life for our Upland residents. Thank you for your time and attention to this critical matter. Give us the best Christmas present ever and say no to Amazon. Merry Christmas to you all. End of comment.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Marjorie Michaels. The city has given us no idea what it is you're discussing in the closed session other than the case names and case numbers. But I assume you are speaking with the city attorney about whether to appeal the 2 decisions of the court in favor of those members of the public who requested that you require environmental impact reports, not just mitigated negative declarations, before approving the 2 projects: A, the Amazon Warehouse and Distribution Center south of Cable Airport, and B, the Frontier Housing Development to be built on the flood control basin near Campus and 15th. I respectfully ask that you waste no more money on attorney's fees for appeal, but that you honor the decisions of the court and require these respective developers to provide full EIRs before you approve their projects. As you should be aware from the extensive public input at the Planning Commission before you shut off public appearances for the council meeting, the Amazon project is just not good land use planning. It's to be located close to 3 schools and apartments where elderly people live, while you know that those thousands of truck deliveries will entail cancerous diesel emissions and will create road destruction and afflict the residents with traffic and noise at all hours. The health risk assessments submitted show all the cancers which will result, with children and elderly being most susceptible. The other project is insane, building houses in a flood control basin, making it a gated community sitting high above the surrounding neighborhoods to block their view of the mountains, and dumping more traffic onto the deteriorating streets of the surrounding community while blocking the community's entrance or passage through the development, all in disregard of the wildlife and protected species and habitat that will be affected by the development, and all without approval of Fish and Wildlife authorities, which the city was legally required to obtain before such a development could be approved. Now maybe all in disregard of the wildlife and protected species and habitat that will be affected by the development, and all without approval of Fish and Wildlife authorities, which the city was legally required to obtain before such a development could be approved. Now maybe the Court of Appeal will yield to their great power and presence in the empire and disregard the opinions of the brave residents and public citizens who spent their hard-earned funds to object and file suit opposing such a decision. We elected some of you believing you would stand up for the people. Please do not disappoint us. Thank you.
You're now connected to the meeting. Please state your name for the record. You may start your comments now.
Hi, good evening, Council. My name is Mike Nunes. I'm a 6-year resident of Upland. I'm sorry I'm not there to see you guys in person, but I'm calling in opposition to the Amazon thing again. I cannot believe that we're back in this situation. To be honest with you, I thought this thing was over. I've been semi-following what's going on in the legal battle with it. But I do want you guys to understand that a lot of us here in Upland are not opposed to developing that area, but you guys do understand that Amazon is going to be a pretty bad thing for the city. Things are going very well from what I can see at this point. There is no need to bring such a predatory company like Amazon into the city. I hope you guys seriously consider that, because it's going to have a drastic negative effect on the entire city. And believe me, you guys, some of you may not live in the area. I live in the affected area where Amazon would be. I mean, as it is, the trucks are just really bad. The traffic coming up the baseline is just getting backed up even more and more and more as more people migrate towards this. Imagine adding 100 big rigs into the equation and 100 delivery vans. It's just not the right thing. I mean, come on. We already dealt with bridge development and their predatory, acquisition to try to get land. Even the theatrics that they pulled with having people to speak that didn't even Upland, that did not live in Upland. Is this the right thing for us to continue? And I don't see it. I really don't. I really hope you guys do consider just parting ways. I mean, this is enough already. I strongly oppose this. You guys know how I've been very vocal in the community, and I'm sure a lot of people strongly oppose it, as well as me, as I do. This is not a good thing. I hope you guys do the right thing. I hope you consider not bringing Amazon into this beautiful city of ours. And I thank you for letting me speak. Hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas, and take care. Bye-bye.
I am completely opposed to the Amazon warehouse. I am an Upland resident. My name's Robin Vitzton. I also represent my mother, Eileen Olson, and my daughter and her husband, Laura and Brian Sanchez. We all strongly oppose the building of the Amazon warehouse.
Good evening, Alan Nicely, 23-year resident of Upland, and I don't understand why we're here talking about Amazon again. I don't understand why we're here at this point. It's not going in, which is a big yay for the city. And for those people that support Amazon, I would just like to understand what the positives are from it. Having Amazon is now some great gem for the city. It's just a huge burden. It's going to take our roads. Any money that we do get from them, we're going to spend so much more just trying to keep up with the infrastructure. And if you want to see what the future of Upland would be like, is all you have to do is drive down Euclid by the Amazon centers there, and you see it's like a beehive with those Amazon vans coming in and out. And that's Euclid, where they're more prepared to cope with it. Upland's not prepared for it. So again, I ask you to vote no. And for those of you that do support this, I would just ask you to explain what the benefits are and why you'd be voting for this, because I can't see any. Thank you.